Hey y'all, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. Today we're going to do another casual Katie get ready with me where I try a palette for the first time on camera and we just keep it really casual around here and just do a short and sweet little video on this new palette that I got. This is Klarity Cosmetics Evil Mermaid palette. Now I didn't really get it for the name because I don't know, I've said this before on my Instagram and I think even mentioned it on here in a Will I Buy It. I don't really love the Evil Mermaid because I don't know, it's just beautiful, lush, rich colors. Like why do rich colors have to be Evil Mermaid? Name aside, I really did fall in love with the color story and I've been wanting to try Klarity Cosmetics again for a while. I've only tried one other palette from them. That was the pastel palette, the So Mermazing. That was a mermaid palette I did not like, so I'm really hoping I enjoy this one. I've always heard great things when it comes to Klarity Cosmetics shadows, specifically her rich dark mattes and her shimmers. So I want to give the brand another try, and this palette color story just really called for me. So we're going to be putting this on my eyes. I cannot wait to dive in. I hope the beautifulness of these shadows are coming across on camera because get off my tail, this one, I want that all over my lid. It's so beautiful, as is this one. Sees the Day. Names are really cute too. So pretty. Murky Waters, also beautiful. The mattes, array of mattes, they are so beautiful. So let's just get up close and create a fun eye look with this palette. Alright, so let's dive right in and just give you guys kind of a rough estimate of what I'm thinking of doing with this palette. I definitely know I want this on my outer corner. The richness of this, so beautiful. Or should I make it a wing liner? That could be fun if I wing this out and then put this on the outer corner, blending into, let's see, I'm curious to see how different these two are. So I think I'll use this on the outer corner, blend into the crease with this, and then use one or the other, or maybe a combination of the both to blend them out. Oh, I am so sorry. I was in the garden. It's very hard to get it out from under my nails, and it's garden dirt. It doesn't bother me, but I do realize my fingers look very dirty, so little disclaimer there. But let's go ahead, and that's what my plan is. So I think I should go ahead and put down winged liner look that I'm probably gonna have to redo. This is a little Morphe slanted eyeshadow brush, but I want to take that purple Conspiracy and we're gonna put it right on the outer corner, or not outer corner, but we're gonna put it as a wing liner. We'll see how that goes. I bet that'll look really pretty. I'm gonna tap this off in case because I do have my base all done. Been running around this morning per usual. Feeling very tired, but like I said, I thought about just taking a break today from filming. But I kind of want to put this up on Monday, so if I'm going to do that, today's Friday, it's my last chance to film before the weekend, so we're filming. Gonna make it happen. So do like that, bring it just like this in. This is going on nice. I mean, it's a line, not super groundbreaking, I'm sure, but it's going on nice, and I find it pretty easy to get a line with this powder, which is good. And I always like, if I'm going to do a eye look where I use the shadow for a wing, I always like to do it first just because I feel like it helps it stick best on a more tacky base and make sure it shows up nicely. And then also sometimes I like how it like blends in if it's kind of, you know, messed up a little bit. I feel like it gives it more of an effortless blended winged liner look. Sometimes I leave it like that, but anyway, there's the wing. I like it. Okay, so this wing, I thought doing it off camera would make sure they're all nice and even, but this one is definitely looking a little rough. That's fine. I obviously don't care enough today. Let's go into this shade right here, which is the darkest green, Aquaholic. The names are cute, like the play on words. I don't know what an aquaholic, like alcoholic, has to do with a mermaid, except that it's like aqua. I don't know. Is that supposed to be the evil side of it? I don't know. Like I said, I was kind of surprised at the name for this palette because I was like, Evil Mermaid. It's just very rich and, you know, dark and beautiful. I don't know. I was surprised that they chose the name Evil Mermaid because I thought it was just so beautiful. Such a beautiful color story. I didn't really see anything evil about it, but that's just me as well. Like, I could very much be in the minority there. You guys know me. I'm sure that doesn't come as a surprise. So I'm putting that down there. That goes on really nice. It's nice, got a nice amount of depth. Honestly, this has enough depth that I like it for an outer corner because I was wondering if it would be dark enough. I did get some fallout on this side. I probably didn't knock it off as much as I should have. But it's looking nice. It's not really messing up the line, which is good. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, now I'm gonna take the B2 brush from Blend Bunny Cosmetics and let's go into Shell Shocked, this center shade, and I wanna see how different that one is from the dark color we just put here. So I'm going to take it just into the really like deepest part of my crease here to get a nice kind of cut crease look, a lot of definition before I kind of blend it upward with the lighter colors. So let's see. Definitely looks, I mean, there's a difference there, but honestly, these two, I thought they were pretty close. And something I'm noticing as I'm going into this shade specifically is there is a ton of kick up. I think you can see it there. There was a little bit of kick up with this. I mean, I was dabbing into it with a slanted brush, so it doesn't require and cause too much kick up. There's a little bit of kick up here, but this is the most kick up that I'm getting from the pan. And I'm going in very gentle. I'm not someone who tends to be super rough. When I like dab in, I'm not like, "Arr." I just kind of tap it in and tap it around to get it on my brush. And I am knocking off because I do, anytime I forget to knock off, I see a good bit of fallout on my face. So it's definitely, I would classify this as like a powdery type of shadow, like the formula is just powdery. You need to be very gentle, but nice pigment. I'm seeing a lot of nice pigment here. I'm not really having to work to get good pigmentation, so I'm happy with that. Kind of reminds me of like Menagerie, you know, like the Whale Song because of the colors, but the Whale Song palette when it was just so intense. So I'm gonna do this. There's a difference. These are awful close. I wouldn't mind, I mean, this is crazy for me to say, but I wouldn't mind one of these, like maybe this shade being more purpley leaning, I don't know, to go along with that, or maybe a little heavier on the green or a little heavier on the blue just to differentiate it from this shade a wee bit more. I don't know, but I guess you got this shade. I don't know. I'm not an expert when it comes to color stories and whatnot, so take my thoughts with a grain of salt. But let's go into Beaches Be Crazy. I'm gonna put that on the inner edge and just blend what I just put out. What I just put down, use it to blend it out. This one's also very powdery. I just made a mess in the pan. So just like this, nice and gentle. Yeah, I wanted this to soften it. It's kind of taking away the intensity of that darker shade I just put down. It almost blending it away, is that the word? I don't know, I just feel like I don't even see it as much. Like if I pull my lid like this, I feel like you can't see any kind of gradual from this dark shade that I put into the lighter shade. It's almost like this shade picked up that color and just mushed it all together. I don't know if I'm just reading into that or not, so let me try it on this side. I'm going to dab it just on the tip, make sure I'm nice and in focus here. And let's see, because I was wanting a little bit more of like a nice ombre between the two colors, not so much just a blend of like what looks like the same color, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm being a little bit careful not to come down too far, which I feel like I tend to do to get nice and even transitions and ombres between two colors like this. Yeah, I don't know. I think I got a little bit, kept a little bit more of the depth in there and didn't let it muddy up as much. I don't know. This is interesting. I'm not sure what I'm seeing here, but I'm not, I guess I'm pointing it out because I'm not loving it, that I can't see like a really seamless ombre between, what were the two shades? This shade and this shade. That's what I'm trying to point out. I don't know if I'm succeeding, but that's what I'm getting at. Let's go ahead and take another little brush, which would have been a good one to use there, but I'm gonna take the Washed Ashore, this shade right here, and let's put that on the outer corner for this deeper shade here and just see what happens. Gonna place it right there, make sure I am in frame and not blurry or out of focus, and let's blend it just like that. Kind of tapping it where I want it and then blending it. Okay, maybe because the colors are so different, but these this shade with the darker shade, I can definitely see where the green was and then where the blue was. It's just a little bit more of a seamless blend and transition. Not seamless as in like you can't tell there's a differentiation in like a color, but you can just, it's a gradual change that in my opinion is very seamless. Whereas this, I just feel like it's kind of like it disappeared in here. Do you guys see that? It's like if I pull my lid, when I pull my lid flat, it's like I can't even see the dark color that I put right in here. It's just all that lighter color. I could be biased just because I have had experience with Klarity Cosmetics, and my big complaint was that when I tried to use, you know, multiple shades, they were like dusting away and giving me problems. That was with her pastels though, and those were pretty bad, honestly. Like I remember as I was blending and trying to blend out a shade, it would just patch up and bald up really bad. But I don't know. It's not a huge deal because I still think the eye look looks good. It's just something that I wasn't expecting to see, and I don't know what I think about it, so I'm pointing it out. But let's go ahead and take that shade. Where is my brush that I used? I'm gonna take that Shell Shocked, which is there in the middle. Oops, I just dropped the palette. Gonna tap into it again, and we're just gonna see if we can put this kind of back in a little bit more. Just because I was kind of wanting that differentiation of the two colors, just so you can see a nice seamless blend type of thing. And with the shades being like this, I feel like it's even, since they don't, you know, this one kind of disappeared slash totally blended into the lighter shade, it kind of makes me a little bit bummed that some of these mattes are so close together, because if they all kind of mush together and look like one when you're working with it, it's going to make the versatility and the different type of looks you can get with this palette a wee bit limited. But I'm just pointing these things out as I go. I'm not really giving this as a review saying that the palette is bad. It's just what I'm experiencing as I'm trying out her dark mattes for the first time. I'm not trying to find bad things just to talk bad about the brand, but I'm just sharing what I'm experiencing, and you can let me know what you guys think on camera as you guys watching me create this look, if you think it looks fine or if you think you can see what I'm seeing. See, I like that better. There's a little bit of dark right there as it goes to the light now, especially on this side. I think I did better. Again, I didn't bring that lighter shade down too far. I kept it really just up into the crease to make sure that I wasn't combining the two. And now I have a nice soft ombre up here and then some depth in the crease. Let me just put a touch more of that back in here, because I like, especially when I'm gonna go put the shimmers down, then it's gonna, this dark line will kind of poke out behind it and just give it more depth and definition, which is what I like. So there's that. I think I'm happy with the mattes. I feel like I should save Get Off My Tail for the inner corner, but I just can't. I'm gonna put this as a cut crease above, and then what else do I wanna put on the lid? Seize the Day is really calling my name as well. That's so pretty. And maybe I'll do a combination of this purple on the lower lash line with that. That could be really pretty. Should I use this more purpley tone to kind of, because this is definitely a blue, but it has a sparkle of purple in it, depending on how I'm turning it. So I think I'll do this one with this one. Sure, I want to use them all, but I don't think I can fit those three. So let me put on a little bit of a tacky base, like a glitter primer for the shadow. All right, so let's do that. Get Off My Tail. That's definitely the one I'm just, so beautiful. There's so many sparkles in it. I'm gonna tap it off, and let's put this right here. Oof, so pretty. The shimmer is soft, easy to pick up. I'm tapping it off once. I don't really see much coming off, so I almost think that that's an unnecessary step. But from my time trying her formula, her shimmer formula with So Amazing, that shimmer sparkle can get everywhere. So I'm gonna tap it off just to try and keep it off my face as much as possible. But like, look at that, so beautiful. I'm getting a lot of sparkle all over the palette as I'm picking this up. So I would say the shimmers are also pretty softly pressed. I didn't have any cracked shadows or anything like that, so that was good. That was something I experienced with her So Amazing, but this palette was extremely well packed. I'm gonna post an unboxing of the palette here in a couple days on my Instagram, so if you're curious, you can, by the time this goes live, it should be up so you can see, but it was packed very securely. Super happy about that. This is really easy to pick up, and the amount of sparkle, oh my goodness, so pretty. I'm really happy with how this is, how easy the shimmers are to pick up and apply with a brush. Fallout, no, honestly not bad. I've been trying to be really diligent about kicking or, knocking off the brush. Got a little bit on this side, maybe one or two on this side, not bad at all. Now I'm gonna go in with Murky Waters, which is this blue one that's got a bit of like purple in it. Place this right here. Okay, maybe the other shade would have been a better choice just to go along with the look I'm doing, but hey, that's me. I'm always putting interesting color combinations together. It'll still work, but it's definitely a little bit more purpley. I feel like the other one would have blended more seamlessly into the green mattes that I use, but the shade itself is super pretty. I feel like if I put this all over my lid, depending on where the light's hitting it, I don't know if this is supposed to be a multi-chrome, but it would almost looks like a multi-chrome, because sometimes, depending on how I'm turning, it almost looks blue, but then the sparkle hits it and you can see the purple sparkle shining through, so it's a very beautiful shade. Both of these ones I'm using now, super special, super pretty, very nice. So now that I've got that placed on there, I'm gonna go back to Get Off My Tail, that first one. I like to use the lighter one to blend into the darker one, just so I don't get it too dark, too close to my inner corner. Just tap it over like so. And then I'll take the brush that I used on my outer corner, which is that green. Let me blow off all the sparkle from the mattes. And I'm just going to tap it right in here to make sure it's nice and seamless to transition between the shimmer and the matte. As effortless and seamless as I'm able to make it, I should say. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that purple shade once again, though what we started with the liner, and I'm just gonna put it back on top because I definitely, you know, lost some of it in my liner, or like the line along my eyes when I put the shimmers down. The shimmers definitely hit it pretty much completely. Not that I put a ton here, but I'm just gonna tap it in so you can see. All right, let me dust away some of my under eye stuff. Definitely a bit of purple and shimmer. But now we're gonna go in. Let's get, what do I wanna do? I'm gonna get this little pencil brush. I'm gonna pick up that Conspiracy, the purple, the dark purple. I'll be curious to use this on my outer corner just to see how it blends, because I feel like purples can be problematic when it comes to blending out and stuff like that. So I always love it when I find a good formula for purples, especially like grungy purples. I'm just gonna put this on both sides, and then I don't do this often, but I want to use that that shimmer on the inner portion, just because that shimmer looks so pretty, and I think I just want to use it. I don't fin sew right there. Let's use it. I'm gonna do it on a little flat brush, and let's just kind of place it and pull it back into the matte that I just put down. I'll be curious to see how this shade stands on its own on the lid, because it looks like, compared to the other ones, it looks like a bit of a muted, almost understated type of purple. But then again, we're talking about Klarity Cosmetics shimmers. I feel like their shimmers are always so blinding, and there's always something special about them, so I'll be curious to try this out for myself on my lid. Now I'm gonna take this shade and this shade, which is what I use in the inner corner, and I'm just going to tap off all the stuff that's dusting around. I'm going to use this just underneath that dark purple, just to soften it up, kind of finish it out here. Just make sure it's not too harsh and too dark underneath my eyes. Let me put a little bit of the purple back, because I definitely feel like I lost some of that purple. That was more pigmented than I thought. That light shade. What is it? Beaches Be Crazy. I'm gonna put a little bit of it back. This is pretty much the look. I'm gonna hop off here and put on some mascara. What should I use for inner corner? There isn't really anything I can use for inner corner here, so I'm just gonna grab what I have for my highlighter. Glam Light's Pina Colada. It's a gorgeous highlighter, but also a gorgeous inner corner highlighter. Just like very blinding. So pretty. All right, so I'm gonna finish this up, put on some mascara. I'm gonna put something purple in my waterline, and then we can sum up with my thoughts here at the end and share some close-ups like I do. So, be right back. Alright, so here's the completed look with some mascara, and lipstick is Give Me Glow lip gloss in Beauty Mark. But yeah, this is the completed look. So as always, I like to let you guys see close-ups so you guys can really see what the final look turned out to be. I think final look all put together, it is a beautiful eye look, and it looks very seamless, very effortless. There's a nice blend to it. There's no harshness, there's no patching. I'm overall very pleased. This is a palette that I definitely have to play with more, because just in that little bit of playing with it, I want to play around with it some more. Maybe it's because the colors are so close, and that's why I was feeling like, you know, in the inner corner there wasn't much differentiation. It's almost like they just, you know, the two shades that are very different from, you know, these two. I think I did these two, kind of just looked like one shade, and I was kind of like, wait, where'd the definition go? So I need to play around with it and just see if it's the colors because they are so close, or if it's just the formula that maybe if you put too many colors close together, they can tend to kind of knock the previous color away, so to speak. So it's definitely a palette I'm going to play around with some more, and I will give you a full review whenever I'm done with it. But definitely a very fun first impressions. I'm very pleased with the shimmers. They weren't too soft. They're very sparkly. They went on very easily, which I always love in my shimmers, if they can just go on with a brush, no hassle, and I was very pleased to see that it did that. So yeah, it's definitely a color store I have to play around with more, in a formula I can't wait to explore more. So those are my first impressions. As always, keep in mind this is just first impressions, the very first time I've created an eye look with it, and I'll give you guys my full review down the road in a future palette palooza, because as I said, it was definitely a color store that grabbed me right off the bat. It's a color store I don't have, and I haven't been playing much in my collection, so I was excited to get to add it to my collection and get to play around with this fun and very just rich, deep purple, blue, greenish type of color stories. So it's a fun little 9-pan palette, and overall, I'm excited if you can't tell. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so very much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. If you want to continue getting more daily content from me, I'm over on Instagram, LadyKatie92 over there. And with all that said, I'll see you guys very soon in my next one. Bye, guys.